Hello, in this video I wanted to show you a few features of DIVA CTRL that make it quite unique in my opinion. Let me go over them. First you have the different pages. You have the model selection page, which lets you assign different oscillator or filter models. Then you have a shift page, which contains alternate functions and features. And then you have the quite powerful modulation matrix, which lets you assign modulation sources to modulation destinations indicated by a green LED. Let me show you how this works. If I wanted to assign the velocity to modulation A for the filter cutoff, I can select velocity here. Then when I turn it up, the modulation source gets assigned to the destination and I can immediately change the depth. You can see velocity has been assigned. I can change the depth of the control. I'll change it back to envelope 2. I select envelope 2. The LED goes back to green, indicating the modulation source is available. I'll turn the knob and modulation gets assigned. Very handy and very quick. Another handy feature is that you can assign LFO settings with these buttons. So these are for speed selection. The bottom row is for waveform selection. If I wanted to do this on a normal MIDI controller, you will see you end up with lots of values, which you probably don't need. And also it's not handy to see which value you have selected. So this is very quick and easy. There are a few other things that are different from standard MIDI controllers. Let me show you this with the dual VCO model. If I wanted to change the waveform for the oscillator on a normal MIDI controller, you can only change state to on and off. So I would need 4 knobs to control the 4 waveforms. But on DIVA CTRL, when you turn the knob, it will just switch between different waveform settings. Same is true for the eco model. On a normal MIDI controller, you end up with values that stay in between, but DIVA CTRL snaps to the correct value immediately. Okay, then another cool feature. When you start up DIVA CTRL, first 4 faders will control the volume, the modulation wheel, vibrato and glide. But the second 4 faders will control the envelope 2 values. But when you press this button, you can control envelope 1's settings with the first 4 faders, and the last 4 faders will control envelope 2. This is very handy because you have control over the 2 envelopes at the same time. Also something new, if I double click this button, I have implemented a takeover mode. When you turn the knob, DIVA starts tracking your value. So let me turn it all the way up. And now I'll turn the feedback all the way down. If I go back to the main page, you can see that the knob is at a minimum value, but the plugin is at a maximum value. So now, because we're in takeover mode, DIVA CTRL will only react when I have reached the correct value. And same is true for feedback. If I go to the shift page, the DIVA CTRL won't send any MIDI until I reach the correct state. So this is very handy for live sets because you don't want to hear knob jumps when changing parameters. Then another cool function, if you have changed, let me show you this on the maybe the triple oscillator model. If you changed multiple settings while creating your preset, you can reset different sections of the DIVA CTRL by pressing some buttons in the model selection page. So now I'm on the triple oscillator model. If I press this button, you can see these LEDs lighting up. So one is for the mod settings, but these were already reset at reset state here. And the other is for the knobs. So if I press this button, it will reset the knobs without resetting the patch. So you can see right now, it only did a reset for the knobs of the oscillator and the mixer. If I want to reset the filter knobs, I can press the filter model here. You can also see an LED lighting up here. So if I press this button, it will reset the filter settings. And boom, everything is back to initial. So that's really handy because you don't have to reset the whole patch. Also new for DIVA Control is that you can now select the FX and ARP settings on your Launch Control XL. So user preset 1 controls all the SYN functions, and user preset 2 on your Launch Control contains all the FX and ARP functions. You can select different effects here and here for the 2 effect blocks. You can select the ARP settings here. So these control the clock settings, the modes, the octaves, on or off, or even swing. Because the FX and ARP settings are now also being controlled by DIVA Control, there are now over 190 features available on your Launch Control XL. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you to the people who already pledged for DIVA Control, and let's keep spreading the word. Bye.